So everything I heard was true. So
Yeah.
Well, dude, yeah.
Well, last year you challenged him to a wrestling match, or we had kind of had a discussion about how long we'd maybe last on the mat with Spencer Lee, and he replies to our clip and says, "I'm not that mean, I promise," and that's the vibe I got from him for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely a little teddy bear.
Yeah,
until they get him in a singlet and it's time to go, and then you're stand no chance. But awesome. I mean, what else did you take out of the podcast with him?
You know what? I'm just excited for everybody to listen. I'm pumped that we're getting the relaunch going. It's been a weird year, too much news for us to keep up with. Before we get into it, I do want to say thank you so much to Cookies Barbecue for being the presenting sponsor, getting in early and often. They're the sauce that America loves. They're on everyone Iowans table. Cookies Barbecue and seasonings make all of your favorite foods taste a lot better. Find them at your local grocery store. You can also, they're slowly getting online, cookiesbarbecue.com. Get your cookies. Remember, smart cookies, choose cookies.
All right, feeding off that, what's your favorite thing to put Cookies barbecue sauce on?
We got a lot of flack when we were doing some of that tenderloin stuff of putting it on a tenderloin. I didn't hate it.
I loved it.
You know what I just did?
I remember that. People were like, dude, you guys use barbecue sauce on his tenderloin?
We got a lot of crap for that.
My first option when it comes to a condiment.
Which really wasn't bad. I will say, a couple weeks ago, we get into the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight in the interview. And for that fight, we actually made little smokies and meatballs. So we used some Cookies barbecue sauce. That's probably my favorite thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Cookies. Bryce, we have a big holiday party coming up this weekend of our social gathering of our friends, about 8 or so, our traditional 8 people. It's a Secret Santa.
Yep.
So we all have Secret Santa gifts to exchange with. Do you have your gift?
I have my gift. It's not yet under the tree. It will be by probably day's end. Excited for everyone to come to Des Moines. Just made the big move a couple months ago. It's been fun. Excited to have everybody here. Really excited to talk on the podcast, just Des Moines life, especially as things slowly start to open back up and we can do more of a normal life post COVID and post vaccine.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to come down this weekend too. I haven't checked out your guys' new crib yet, so
yeah, excited to have you.
Boys were up to it, and we'll have to recap the holiday party coming this next weekend.
Certainly, we got a big. This episode will probably release after, but we got Iowa playing Wisconsin. That'll be some good viewing that day. Iowa State. We'll recap that game hopefully in the next interview. Not gonna do any teasers on the guests, but couple good guests lined up. Really excited to talk about that. So we'll have a couple big games for Iowa basketball to talk about. Fun. Should be a really good weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited. Just hopefully COVID can stay the hell out of our way for just a little bit longer. We're finally have a good sports run here in the state of Iowa. And so far, COVID's treated our sports program pretty well this season. No cancellations or postponement. So hopefully we can get these games in.
Right on. Let's have a day. Let's have a weekend. Hey, what's up, Spencer?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man?
Good, how are you? Nice hat.
Hey, appreciate it. You can hear us just fine and everything?
Yep.
Welcome to the Iowa Chill Show. I'm your host, Nathan Creeps, along with my co-host, Bryce Borschiller. Bryce, how we doing today?
It's great to be back. It's been a weird year. Almost too much news to get this show, to keep the show going. So it's really good to be back in the Des Moines now. I'm not in Cedar Falls, so first guest, Spencer Lee, is a great way to kick things off. I'm super excited to go over basically everything that's been going on and hear more from the legend himself, Spencer.
That's right. Yeah. So today we have a very special guest, 2-time national champion, and many other accolades that we don't have enough time in the world to even discuss. Please welcome our guest, University of Iowa wrestler, Spencer Lee.
Hey, thanks for having us, or me, to the show, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, man. We're getting started on Zoom. This is a whole new way to record for us, but it's nice to actually see your face. We were able to hop on with Bohannon last year and do something face to face. We had a really, really rough time doing the video and everything, so this is a lot easier. Kind of a hack for us.
Zoom's been pretty good this year. Pretty popular, huh?
Yeah, man. You're that's pretty much your life now, isn't it? At school?
Yeah, school is all online, so at least I have all online classes this semester, unfortunately.
Yeah. Nate, you got a little story for Spencer. Let's kick it off with that story.
So first off, we need your blessing. I didn't grow up the biggest wrestling fan. I have an excuse for that. My school didn't even have wrestling. Okay. So cool. It wasn't even an option. So with your blessing, you'll forgive me. We can move past that. So if that being said, it was like in May. Are you familiar with Myrtle Lot?
No.
Okay. Do you know that little Dairy Queen on like the river?
Yeah.
Okay. So Myrtle Lot's right up there. It's a tailgating lot. My cousin lives right there. And we were playing catch, just mind our own business in Maine during quarantine hours, right? Maybe a few White Claws, drink a little bit, have a good time. All of a sudden, this car drives by, and they're just start yelling, fuck you guys. And we're like, what the hell? Like, whatever. And they pull into this yellow house across the street. And we were raged, a little drunk, walking over. We're like, let's throw this football at this house to teach these guys a lesson. And right before we get to the house, Aaron Costello walks out with a 30-pack of Busch Light. He's like, yo, you guys want a beer? She's like, okay, yeah, sure. I didn't even know who he was at this point. No idea he was a wrestler. We go into the house. We're just drinking a few beers. Apparently a bunch of relatives live there. A few baseball players. We just had a good time, man. So that's just a quick little story. I'm like, God, oh shit, you guys are on the wrestling team. And he was like, maybe showing us a video of him wrestling like Tristan Wirfs on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In high school.
I was like, Tristan Wirfs is like 3 times the size of him. So cool dude, cool guy. So that was just kind of an interesting story to kick off. I'm like, I didn't even know who these guys were. We're about to throw a football at their house and stuff like that. Thank God we didn't, because we had no idea they're part of the wrestling team.
The baseball players, pretty crazy too. So.
Yeah. And one guy went shotgun a beer with us. Quickest shotgun I've ever seen in my life. I'm
gonna be honest. Yours wasn't the best shotgun. I've seen you do a lot better.
It's 1 p.m.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
On a Thursday.
That's right.
Spencer, how you been? What's your life looking like nowadays?
Pretty much just have. I get up at 6 a.m. pretty much every day, work out in Carver, and then we have practice at 3, and then the rest of the day is like classes and homework, whatever I want to do.
You bet. Have you been keeping up with the state of Iowa? Like, we're the hottest thing on earth right now. Football, Iowa State, Iowa basketball with a big win on this Tuesday.
Yep. Yeah. No. I think Barstool's like our Iowa Barstool Sports tweeted like, "Are we a basketball school now?" And a bunch of my friends were like, "No, come on, you guys said something about being a wrestling school," but like, I'm not really about like tweeting things like that. I'm pretty quiet. I don't like social media. But then I just said that I pretty much said that we're a sports school because like I can go off for our teams, man. We're nuts. World's basketball should be Iowa State, and Iowa's number 3 in basketball. Football is like 16, I think. We're number 1 in wrestling. Our track team won Big Tens last year for men's. We're just hot. Our sports are really, really good this year, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, it's just nice to have something to watch right now. It's been a super weird year. I want to get into that a little bit with what that's looked like for your preparation for the season and how things got cut short last year. But it's just nice to be able to escape a little bit and have you guys, go out and have some fun and show out. So, what did that look like last year? We had talked about getting you on the show maybe March last year, and you said if I get the national championship again this year, I'll hop on. And I'm like, that's a deal. Obviously things got cut short. It sounded like you even had some Olympic pre-qualifying kind of things going on too. What have things looked like from then until now?
So the plan was, after Big Tens, then we had a week of nothing, and then one more week in the Big Tens, right? So like that's Saturday, like 2 weeks basically. And after NCAA's, then I would have had around 2.5 weeks until Olympic trials. So the only way to qualify for Olympic trials is to be a world team member. Like the past years, then there was like a bunch of there's 5 qualifying spots at the US Open, which I won in December. So then there's only like 11 guys in the weight class that are qualified, I think. So it's pretty small. Like it's like NCAA champ, any past world medalists at like that weight, world team members, people top 5 of the Open. Then there's a last chance, and then there's like a U.S. tournament they usually have. Like the highest qualified American in that tournament also qualifies. So there's only like 11 people.
Gotcha.
And so that would have been April 6th. So like March 22nd would have been NCAA's, and then April 6th would have been Olympic trials. So it would have been a quick turnaround. And so obviously if I make Olympic team, then the Olympics are July and August. Would have been July 20th through August 6th, I think, would have been what the Olympics would have been this year. But obviously all that got canceled. So I went from having this possibly like the biggest summer of my career, maybe being a 3-time national champ, maybe being an Olympian, maybe going to Tokyo, to literally nothing. Like we can't do anything. Can't even train in Carver. It was just it's nuts. We went from literally like train biggest year of my life to just absolutely nothing, just shut everything down.
So, and is that the same situation? I know that, normally you'd be wrestling at this time, right? Is that the
Yep.
same kind of deal where things maybe get started January 1st is what I was reading, and you go through and do it, kind of like how you were planning on doing things last year, and then the Olympics are again maybe postponed till August or whenever next year. Does it look the same, or do you not rev up as
I
hard?
mean, I guarantee the Olympics will happen this year. Don't know if America will send the team or not. I don't know. We'll see. But they will for sure happen because there's no way they can postpone it again because in the winter, like the U.S. Olympic, like the Summer Olympics would be 2022, 2024. That's kind of nuts. Like this
Sure.
is like a 1 year, like, and the amount of money that Tokyo would lose if they canceled it, it's just not possible. It's really not. They have to have
Right.
something, and so that's definitely gonna happen. I'm more worried about our season. I mean, I've heard that like, Big Ten schedule and you have to have like a 4-match requirement to go to the NCAAs and all this stuff. Like there's like things that in the making, but as of right now, I don't know. We're just training for whatever, and we're getting ready for whatever's next. And hopefully we wrestle in January. So
You bet.
Yeah.
So what does the off season look like, and how do you stay focused and prepared?
I mean, we're just training like there's a season. We're training as if we've competed November 22nd, like we did every year since I've been a freshman. But without competing, it's a little hard. It's a little different cause you train a little different when you're competing. The last couple of days you're getting ready for traveling and getting your weight down and being healthy and not sore. Whereas when you're not competing, you can kind of just train through everything.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
Hey, Spencer, touch a little bit more on the personal side. You're from Pennsylvania, obviously notorious for wrestling state. Penn State, obviously one of your biggest competitors and rivals when it comes to wrestling. So why Iowa over Penn State?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I just really fell in love with this place, and Tom and Terry were my dream coaches, really. So whenever I met them and they were like better than I even expected, it was really hard to see myself at Penn State, even though, Penn State was 2 hours away from my parents and all my friends and whatnot. I always say that Penn State was the easy choice and Iowa was the right choice is kind of how I've always described it because Penn State would have been really easy. Just go there, they're really good, whatnot. But I feel like going to Iowa was like a different, I don't know if it's like cementing my own legacy or something. I don't know. I really want to, and they have the best partners in the world too. I mean, for my size, we had when I was a freshman, we had some crazy good partners. We still have great partners now, but a lot of those guys have left or moved on or whatnot.
Sure.
So, and then both my coaches were Olympic medalists at 134 and 126. I'm a 125 pounder. Pretty tough not to have those two. They know what it takes, and they're like my size. So we've always been kind of known as a lightweight school. We've had a Hawkeye in the World Olympic team at like 5 out of the 6 out of the 6 years. So pretty impressive.
Got to keep up that legacy.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
sure.
we're glad to have you. Thanks for choosing the Hawks, man. So when you moved to Iowa, from my understanding, your family transitioned to Iowa as well, right?
Yeah.
So where they moved to Cedar Rapids, or can you
Cedar
kind of
Rapids.
explain that transition? You're moving your entire family from Pennsylvania to Iowa to come help join your career.
That's pretty cool. I mean, the whole family's supporting in that kind of way. That's awesome.
I mean, it wasn't just because of me either, though. So my dad got offered a job to move to Iowa when I was in 8th grade he's the vice president of Coe College. Cool. And he was the vice president of Allegheny College in Pennsylvania, and he had the same president at Allegheny as he does his Co. And that guy's wife had like cancer and had to, they moved to Iowa because they had like a special treatment for it. And he offered my dad that job when I was in 8th grade. So I wasn't even on the radar of college coaches because, I was in 8th grade, whatever, right? So that had nothing to do with like being a Hawkeye one day and stuff. But my dad didn't accept the job because he knew that I wanted to be a 4-time PA state champ. And so when I committed to Iowa, it was funny, the president called him and said, "Hey, this job, we still need someone for this job. Would you be willing to do it?" My dad moved out a year early to Iowa and did my whole so that my family could transition comfortably to Iowa whenever I moved out here. So my sister goes to Co. So it all worked out really well, honestly.
Yeah, that's really fortunate.
Yeah.
Spencer, if we're going to move into some team related questions. These are some of like the fan questions. So like, who is the best bromance on the team?
Man, that's a tough question. There's some good ones. Michael Kemmer and Max Buren are pretty good. Those two are funny together. Aaron Costello and Miles Wilson are pretty funny. Those
Costello's quite the dude.
Yeah,
just for that brief moment.
Yeah, Jacob Warner, and like 5 other people on the team. He's pretty funny. They're all pretty close.
He gets around, it sounds like.
He's awesome. They're just funny. Like when he's around people.
Yeah, it sounds like a good group of guys to be around.
They're all
best you guys have. You guys have to be a close-knit team. So.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
So who's been the most improved this offseason? Someone that we should be looking for coming this season?
Let's see. So in the starting lineup, there really will only be maybe one different person. Besides, obviously, Lugo being gone. Then Murin will probably go up to 49, and then we'll have Ironman at 41. Ironman's going to be number 1 in the country probably coming in. He's an animal. I mean, the only spot that's like not 100% like there's like a definitive guy that's like kind of like the main person would probably be 84. It's like Nelson Brands and Abe Assad. Abe beat Nelson last year, so Abe was a starter. But Nelson beat Abe in our match we just had. The Hot Wrestling Club, showdown or whatever we had.
Yeah. Cool. From
Nelson probably.
Yeah, from seeing some outside sources, everybody kind of talking about. I hear a lot of people talk about the freakness and work ethic of DeSanto. Just like this guy's just an absolute beast when it comes to sprints and just working out. Can you elaborate on that?
He just has another gear. He just doesn't stop. It's like he wins our runs by by no means am I slow as a runner, but I'm not a great runner. All right, but he crushes me. Like I probably take 4th on our runs. We run like a 3-mile run, 3.7 mile run, and then some hills. And I run like a 6:20 pace, probably 6:20.
It's pretty dang good.
I'm not slow,
right.
But like I'm not like super fast, and he beats me by like 3 minutes. Like he's just zooming. He's like in the room doing pull-ups already, like finishing the workout. He's like almost like we always have like after we do our run, we always have to like climb rope or do some kind of like thing afterwards because you're tired. It's good to like keep that endurance going. And he's like done with that before I even get in the room. Like it's always funny.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he brings a different level of energy to the mat. So he's one of those guys that you love to have on your team and versus hate to play against him, compete against him for sure.
Oh yeah, he's I love him. He's one of my
I'm
best
just
friends,
waiting to see at the end of every match what did DeSanto do?
Where he's getting better. He's just really emotional.
Yeah.
Like he cares so much about the guys. So like a lot of things you guys may have seen last year that could be seen as kind of nuts or crazy or over the top. It's pretty much just him like defending our team. Like the one where he like gave like a throat slash,
Yeah.
That's because the other team did it to him first. We had a guy run to our corner and give us a throat slash, and then like he was screaming "F you" to us, right? And obviously he doesn't get in trouble, which is whatever. We're Iowa, sometimes we get a little more, And to be fair, he did walk. He did walk to their coaches and do it, which is unacceptable. But in his head, he's like, "This is what you get,"
Right.
Like, this is my team. Like I'm defending them. And of course,
exactly what Nate's saying is like that's the kind of guy you like having on your team.
Yeah,
and it's the kind of guy you love to hate when you're against him. So I mean,
passionate
obviously
dude.
that fire comes in handy when you're in a sport like yourself.
He is a good dude, man.
Awesome.
Believe it.
I mean, if people got to know him, they would love him way more.
So many football players are quite vocal about like their dislike for Nebraska. You would say like Keith Duncan, George Kittle.
That was the school that did that to us, by the way.
Yeah, of course it is.
Right. I do remember that. Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me one bit. Is there a team that you guys just don't like wrestling or someone that fits in the same category as Nebraska?
I mean, I don't think there's any teams that we'd hate. Like, there's no like hate. I think wrestling's such a different sport. It's pretty much just like a respect thing. I mean, obviously our biggest rival is Penn State, but that's solely because they've won the last 8 of 10 years and one of these years weren't contested. So 8 of 9, really, right?
Yeah.
So we just want to be that. So like you could say Penn State, I guess, but we don't really hate anybody, even Iowa State or Nebraska or whatever. We just go there. It's our job. We go in there and we do what we do best, and we get the job done and we leave. And
Right,
that's
man.
it. If they hate us and they flip us off and they throw stuff at us, like good for them.
You might get
We're
a
just gonna
slash.
keep wrestling. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not from us anymore.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I mean, it's hard to consider it a rivalry when you guys kick their ass every year. So
Oh, we're hoping to keep that up.
You bet.
I want to go in this I've always grown up going to Hawkeye football games, basketball games. I've never attended a wrestling meet. I've been to Carver quite a bit. It's an okay atmosphere for basketball, but my brother's always goes. He does what he can to get to the big meets at wrestling. I mean, it's just wrestling fans are just a different breed of people. I hear Carver's just one of the top venues in the country just to be in when it comes to a full packed house and a crazy night.
Well, if you haven't been to a wrestling match, too bad there's no fans this year. You definitely should have came.
I know. I hate that.
It's different. Wrestling fans are very vocal, and something about them is like they act like they know you personally. Like you'll be wrestling, they'll just be yelling your name, like "Come on," like and the whole arena is doing this. So at the same time, and they're smart, like they're good fans, like they know wrestling. So like when you're in a scoring position, like you hear like you score they freak out, right? When I'm wrestling, I don't hear anything. I just hear Terry Brands. All I hear is Terry Brands. I don't hear anything else. I don't hear anything. I don't know. I like zone out. So that's fine with me. But like sometimes like when I'm watching a match or something and like someone's about to score and they go nuts, and it could just be like, do you know what riding time is at all?
Yep.
Like, yeah. So even like something like as small as that, where like you get a minute of riding time, the crowd just starts clapping, and like that makes me laugh because I'm like, or two. Yeah. That's like the iconic thing. Right. So pretty cool. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why you come to school like this as well. I feel like you put the work in.
Do you notice that Iowa fans are a little bit more knowledgeable, and it makes a difference when you're in the mat?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we have the best fans in the world, and that's not like any bias even when I was a young kid coming here, like the people there, they know it. They've been wrestling fans for generations. I mean, Dan Gable era parents and grandparents teaching their kids to come to these matches, and people are still coming.
Right.
I feel like Penn State, not to like bash them because like I almost went there. Well, a lot of their fans, whenever we went there, are much older. Like, I'm not saying they're bandwagoners or whatever, but like I feel like that they started going because Penn State became really, really good, so they wanted to learn. So they might be knowledgeable fans now, but I feel like we have fans that have been knowledgeable forever, right? It's like it's been in families, So like there are people that come to the University of Iowa solely to go to the matches or stuff like that. People are crazy. It's awesome. I mean, I can't tell you when I was a freshman. And I was kind of like a whatever, right? I mean, I was obviously popular, but I hadn't done anything yet. I mean, just walking out of the arena, I couldn't. Like, I had to like wait, like my first match. I couldn't like go to my parents. Like now we have like me and a security guard. He's pretty funny. He just points at me and he walks me to my parents. He knows because like I can't walk to them alone. People just swarm me.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you. I'm like, all right, let's go.
That's what happens to Nate too when he walks outside.
That's crazy, man, especially with the ladies, bro.
He's got a girlfriend to fend them all off now. So
yeah. So we're gonna jump in right here in the rapid fire. We got 5 quick questions. We're gonna get a saucy question, and then we're gonna get you out of here, Spencer.
Sounds good.
All right. So favorite venue that you've competed or if you competed in other than Carver Hawkeye?
Pittsburgh, NCAA's finals. It was awesome.
Why's that?
24,000 people. And when you looked up, there was just a bunch of Hawkeye fans in one section, just insane amount of them. It was like when I remember getting my hand raised and looked over, and it was just nuts. I give like a thumbs up like this. It was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh.
So you're a Pennsylvania guy, but I'm sure you've heard of the game of cornhole or bags.
Cornhole.
Which is your preference? It's cornhole to you?
Yeah. I've heard. I mean, if you said bags, I know what it means. Some people get like offended. Like, no, it's cornhole. I'm like, you just throw a bag in a.
But for the record, you're going on the record saying it's cornhole.
I say cornhole because that's what I've done as about. So, are you a bags guy?
I'm a bags guy.
That's okay.
All right, this next one's a touchy subject between Bryce and I. There's only one right answer here.
One right answer. Okay.
All right, taco in a bag or walking taco, and why is it taco in a bag?
I don't think I've had either of those, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh, you haven't lived until you've had one of those.
Well, it's so funny because like you shotgun a beer, right? I've never even drank a sip of alcohol in my life. So like, never drank before. I've never been to bars. Never been to a party.
Good
So
for you.
I'm just
The reason why you're a two-time national champion.
Yeah,
so
and we're sitting here
It's a
in
taco
booth.
in a bag. I don't know. I mean, what it's like? What the Doritos and
Right.
and the lettuce and the meat in the bottom, and you can just like eat it with like a. I see that at like wrestling match when I was younger.
Right.
Eat that, and I would like gag walking by because like when you ever like been like ready to like compete at something, and like your body's like almost like flushing everything out of you and like getting ready to like fight, and then you smell like the concession food. Like, oh, I hate that. I get so mad. People walk by me before I'm about to compete when I was younger. I'd be like, get away from me. I'm getting ready. You know?
You'll never forget the smell of a big event when you're about to compete, and then there's the concession food.
It's just someone walking by with like their nachos and whatnot, and you're like,
yeah.
All right. You got a favorite place in Iowa City you prefer to eat at?
Oh man. I mean, I like Monica's. Monica's is good.
Have you had that, Nate?
Where's Monica's by again? I know I'm familiar with the name.
So it's just on the strip, down the Corville strip.
I'll have to try it. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool.
They have a bunch of pizzas named after basketball players, women and men basketball players. I think the owner played basketball here or is a big basketball fan. So like there'll be like a Megan Gustafson pizza, and then I'll have like an order about it, or have like a there'll be
sounds cool
stuff like that. So I mean, I'm sure you guys are big basketball fans, so you'll probably know the names on it better than I do. But some of them are older, people that have gone on to NBA and stuff or WNBA. So.
Right on. That's a must try.
Yeah.
So
there's only traditionally like one place every time we go to an Iowa basketball game or when my brother goes to like wrestling me, everybody always goes to the Vine. You get a little pregame at the Vine just so you can walk right up the hill.
Well, the Vine, so Monica's just you keep going straight and it's half a mile.
Okay,
I know.
I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah. There's a Vine right. So like I live right, so I'm pointing because it's literally I walked out of my apartment and walked down this hill. I would see the Vine. That's how close I live to it.
Very good.
My Carver.
All right, so you're picking 3 people to make the perfect dinner party. Who do you invite to have dinner with and why?
Oh, you guys are killing me. I'm bad with these kind of questions. I mean,
I'm putting you on the spot.
how about Coach Ferentz? He's a Pennsylvania guy. When I talked to my recruiting visit, we talked for like an hour longer than we were supposed to. So that was really cool. That'd be interesting. Just like probably how about him and Tom Brands having those two together? Pretty
couple legends.
Coaches. Yeah. And then maybe Dan Gable. How's that? Have three coach legends and then some college guy.
And a Presidential Medal of Honor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good company.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Kind of going off that. You guys have a lot of interaction with Gable.
He comes to our matches. He'll come in before like a dual meet, like into our room before we compete and stuff. But I mean, he's getting older. He's not like as involved as he used to be.
Okay.
I mean, I know when Tom first started or like became an assistant or whatnot in like 1990 something, 97 or something, Gable was still like involved. I mean, he retired in 97, pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he retired in 97. And then he just helped with the program until like 2000 something, and then he's been kind of done since.
So. Yeah, you have to think that that's pretty instrumental to keep that legacy and the tradition alive, and it has to make you a little bit more excited to get out on the mat.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see them. I mean,
yeah,
I don't really know him that well.
Sure.
Because I mean, like I said, he's not really around that much, but I mean, you see him, he says something. He usually has something to tell you,
Yeah, you bet.
He has some advice or something. He walks to you and you listen, and he goes.
Gable's talking. I'm listening.
Yeah, me too.
So we are extremely thankful to Cookies Barbecue for hopping on the relaunch of the Iowa Chill Show. We have a very, very important final question. The Cookies Saucy question of the week: Mayweather or Logan Paul?
You gotta go with Mayweather, man. Come on. He's just gonna. I mean, obviously Logan Paul's a lot bigger, but I think Mayweather's pretty dang good at what he does.
Yeah,
and he knows he's gonna make a lot of money, so good for him.
Yeah, kind of a good win for both those guys.
I don't think Mayweather too.
Is there any chance that Paul wins?
Like that? I mean, it's a boxing, man. Always got to punch his chance, right?
Yep.
But that's about all he has, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Jake Paul surprised you a little bit with a knockout on Robinson.
No. I mean, he's been training for how long? For
Okay.
these random fights. Nate Robinson's an NBA like dunk champion. He's a beast in the NBA, but like he didn't train
It
like
didn't look like he trained at all.
that's what I'm saying. Like if you didn't train properly for it, like how do you beat someone who did? Like
Right.
me, if I went and fought like Javante Davis, he'd knock me out in 30 seconds. What am I supposed to do about that?
Have you done any MMA? Any? Do you have any aspirations for that kind of life?
No. I mean, yeah, I've always like thought about it, but I mean, not really. And I don't think no matter how good I got, I don't think I could be popular enough. I'm not like I don't talk crap. I don't.
Yeah,
No.
it's a lot about getting that big ticket pay-per-view, huh?
Yeah, I'm more about like the respect of the game and loving the game, Like so
Right
if
on.
I fought, it'd be like someone would talk crap to me and I would just be like, good luck. Like when everyone else is like, oh, they get in their face, they get in my face and I'd be like, hey, move back a little bit, we'll fight
Right.
tomorrow, So I'm not that confrontational. Only when I'm in the zone,
Awesome.
Right on.
Well, Spencer, thanks for hopping on. We
thanks
appreciate
for
your
having me.
time today. Good luck this season. We hope you have a great holiday as well.
Thank you, you guys as well. See you.
Yeah, thanks, Spencer.
Yep, folks, we would appreciate it. This is the relaunch of our podcast, so the Iowa Chill Show. We would appreciate if you can hop on, give us a 5-star review, a follow on our social media pages, Instagram and Twitter. We'll be a little more active as content continues to come out. Just spread this to your friends, family, your grandma. I don't care. We just need to love, and we appreciate you guys for hopping on, listening to us.
Oh yeah, we got video now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot
So
we're
we'll
on
see
video.
you guys soon.
Uh-huh.
Cool. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.